Well, last we left off was working on the tower entrance, these steps right here. So I've done just a little bit of extra work since last time, not too much. Like adding some side stairs here to make it easier to get up on the side. I figure in order to make it look like there's a door, I can use some shelves to make it look like an ornate door. And I was thinking, to make it interesting, we can try using mangrove. So I'm going to need to collect some of that. And before I do that, I should probably get my hands on some bone meal. Bones will do. Also, I'm not going to need all those stones while I do that. I'll just throw those in one of the chests I have. This is kind of stone-like. We can work with this. So before I go grab propagule, I'm going to clear out this. Clear out this area, and we'll try to grow them there. A little lumber yard. Now I've got these little squares for the trees, and I'm not sure if the mangrove can grow on that, but we'll give it a shot and see what happens. If it can't, we'll just add more dirt. The reason why I want to do it here is because I did set up a beacon, specifically with haste 2. Eventually that canopy will disappear. In the meantime, we'll end up getting a lot of that wonderful pale oak. Hmm. Alright. Oh. Oh. I have to regrow the farm for pale oak. I have those saplings. Every oak is precious. Oh, you know what would be good? I should make a resin farm. Because resin looks a bit like gold. So if I want to make something like gilded details, that would be good. Oh, get up with one of those. Because my axe has silk touch. I'm pretty sure I got them all. I want to say that feels like on Java, these thick trees grow a lot bigger than they do on Bedrock. The what's it called? The spruce trees. They seem to the thick trees seem to be the same, but like the dark oak and the pale oak on Java seem to be a lot bigger. Kind of sucks that these trees don't give you pale apples. To be fair, they are oaks, but not apple trees. But that never stopped the regular oak tree from giving you apples. But I noticed I was starting to turn into evening, and then, yeah, I left the bed up at the tower. Once we clear away all these pale oak, gonna grow some mangroves. Hello, welcome aboard. Just clearing out some trees, because I'm going to be growing different trees here. Knock knock, who's there? Okay. I'm going to plant some mangrove trees. They are kind of crazy in the way that they grow, so I'm not sure if this is enough, but we will try. And if these little plots aren't enough, then what I'll do is that I'll just add more dirt. So small things I've done since last time. I added these little stairs here on the side. Got these cute little flowers. And I just made sure that this part was symmetrical. So that's kind of what's going on here. Came over to snag my bed. Alright. Face to the wall. Not too bad. Yeah, I haven't done too much work. I just needed to shift a couple of things around to make sure that things were a little bit balanced, because, you know, I'm kind of building this completely improvised, and because of that, we can expect that there might be some changes. So this is a mangrove tree, and you can see it's got the big old roots, and these things here are what we want. These are the propagules. So you can use bone meal to make another one, and you can also use bone meal to try to make growth happen faster. Bone meal is the like the super fertilizer. So okay, we've cleared this. Let's see what happens. Is this enough, or am I gonna have to fill up this entire area? Now those flowers are the pink petal flowers. I'm not sure what they were called, but you get them over at cherry blossom forests. Yeah, usually. But this is Minecraft, so you can just kind of plant them wherever. The normal mangrove biome is the swamps. Alright, let's just make sure this farm is running correctly. You can tell because you see all lava. So just in case we need more bone meal, these things, each one of these blocks is 9 bone meal. But yes, in real life, mangroves are definitely near water. Like over in Puerto Rico, mangroves grow basically from salt water. Let's see. Hey, it grew. All right. That is that's gonna be a pain in the ass. But it grew. So we take that. That's a win. Let's see. I'm gonna need the hoe. We got the silky and the lucky. We're gonna use the lucky. And see this one. All right, wonderful. So the good news is, these tiny plots can grow mangrove, as ridiculous as it comes out. And then you end up with these massive things. Like, the mangrove trees I'm used to in real life are not that massive. They're very small, but we work with what we got, and this isn't too bad. Alright, and the way I harvest these is I use the hoe to shave off layers till I get to the wood. Now I believe I'm gonna need, for what I want to do, I'm gonna need like 30, but We can get more. There's a specific amount I need for what I think will be a pretty good gate. Or door. I was also thinking I could try to make something like a portcullis, but that, since it's diagonal, that might be a little bit tricky. Now, one thing we do need to keep a couple of these leaves intact. I'll show you why. So, if we just set up a little... Oh, no, not like that. We set up some leaves. And then hit them with the bone meal. We got a new propagule. So this is how we're gonna get new seeds. I mean propagules to make new trees. And I've got plenty of bone meal here from bones, and this factory is literally a bone meal factory. So if I need more, I can just make more. Oh, look at that. Got one. They also dropped some. So I think we're going to be okay, but I just wanted to make sure I had a couple of leaves and I don't destroy all of the leaves, since I don't want to be stuck without the ability to get more propagules. That's what they're called, mangrove propagule. So these trees give a nice crimson a nice crimson color. Yep. Well, I don't know if it's a real word or a made-up word, because I know that... So Mojang, the Minecraft studio, is Swedish. So I don't know how many words are words that are like English words but rare, or words that are based on Swedish, or just made-up game words. But propagule seems to have the same origin as the word propagate, which makes sense in the context of what they are. Alright, let's take apart this one. Probably more, probably what we need, but we're gonna keep harvesting just a little bit more in case, because these might be a good block for creating details. They have that unique maroon color. Also, I was thinking of making a new farm for resin. And that one is going to involve summoning a demon of sorts. A different demon than the Wither. I call it a demon, but I mean, you can also call it a monster. It's called the Creaking, and it lives in the heart of the pale oak. And basically, it will try to kill you when you're not looking at it. But if you look at it, it stands still. And when you hit it, you can't kill it. The only way to kill it is to kill the heart. So, you know, that's pretty cool. It's kind of fun. Yeah. So the idea for that farm is that, and it only works at night because it's a, you know, it's a night demon, as many tend to be. But we can use some of the space we have. Like maybe, like we have a lot of space here. Like this deep hole, we can probably make the farm here and still have enough space to make the wool farm that I want to make. All right. I think for now, I'm just going to do this one tree and we'll see how the gate, the doors look. Because making a creaking farm actually sounds like fun. So I might do that for a bit instead of uh, too much more building. And at some point, yeah, there are so many farms that need to be made. And I'm probably going to end up over-engineering them, and they're going to be much more productive than they need to be. For a single person. Because there's, I think one of the most random farms in the game is the Froglight farm. Because it doesn't make sense if you think about it. But it is a real thing. So there are frogs in the game. I have actually acquired several tadpoles to grow into frogs. Now, those frogs, there's these things called slimes. And in the Nether, there's a fiery version of those slimes called magma cubes. And if a frog eats the smallest version of the magma cube, it'll poop out a block that is a light source. It is extremely, extremely random. It's like, huh, a creature from the swamp eats a creature from hell and poops out a light. It's weird. Doesn't make any sense. But we gotta try to make a farm. Yeah, it is a weird farm. And the best part is that it involves so many different strange moving parts. Uh, well, okay, not moving parts literally. I meant that figuratively. But it also involves using a specific block called powdered snow, simply because powdered snow is one of the few blocks that you can use to kill the magmas without necessarily hurting the frogs. And it's not because the powdered snow can't hurt the frogs, it's because gravity. It'll make more sense once I demonstrate it. Okay, so we got ourselves a good amount of this. And let us... I think, yeah, we'll try with 24. So what you have to do, place it, strip it, place it, strip it. Kitty. There's a cat. No, the fish is mine! I'm here for the fish. There we go. Raw salmon. We may need more. They're just lining up for their death. If you're wondering what killing underwater zombies has to do with a cat, it's about the fish. Come on! Stop moving! There we go. There's lots of rotten flesh. Alright. We got some fish. There's a little side quest. Is that cat still there? Where did that cat go? If we see the cat again, we'll keep the fish here. There's a small chance we can befriend him if we feed it raw fish. This is the way. Okay. Let us... Okay, so basically, I put this on top, and it's going to be like a diagonal door. And then I'm thinking of having these shelves like that, and it'll look like the door is swung open. I mean, it's Minecraft, so you have to use your imagination. Alternatively, instead of putting it there, I don't know. I'll keep it like this for now. This kinda what I'm going for. Obviously, these walls aren't going to remain empty. Let's put that in here. All right, so let's plan out a farm for the creaking. We've got our one chunk area to work with, but that should be more than enough. We'll go to the testing world. Huh. Hmm. 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 All right. Let's see. Hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, just planning out some farms here. I'm gonna make a creaking farm. Hmm. Plan out this. Probably use commands to fill this in with stone, but I suck at commands. On a different note, tomorrow is going to be a fun one. I'm going to tackle the frigid outskirts in DS2. The infamous frigid outskirts. Now, I know a lot of people hate the frigid outskirts, and it's perfectly well deserved. But I kind of enjoy it in a very masochistic way. Because of just how messed up it can be. Alright, let's see. Pale oak log. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what would be the best way to make this compact. because I could also do like a design where it pushes to the side. Now, I'm not really explaining what I'm doing just yet, but it'll make sense soon. So what happens is that the creaking monster, when you hit it, it'll deposit resin. Okay, I'm overthinking it. I'm overthinking it. There is a simpler solution. So it'll deposit resin on these pieces of wood. I think we can leave that one alone. Well, let's take it one more up. Let's take it one more up. It'll all make sense very soon. And frog lamp. These are the frog lights that I was talking about. They're very strange, but they kind of look like faded fluorescent lights, so it's kind of fun. Now we're gonna need a sword. Alright, so the way that this works, we're gonna set the time to night. This is the creaking. Now, because I am in creative mode, he's not reacting to me normally, but you hit him, that causes resin to start to build up around where his heart is. The goal of the farm is to then, basically, I hit a creaking or two, or three, a whole bunch of times. And let's change it back to day. Noon. So he's gone, because he's only around at night. But you end up with this. And now, we have a lever. Yes, we have a lever. when you move the wood, it causes the resin to pop off. So if we do this, we can have pistons pushing those up and pistons pushing those down, and that'll shake the resin loose. So all we have to do is keep hitting the creaking, and we will get lots of resin. And then we can employ our friend, the LA, this little blue fairy looking dude, to fly around and pick up the resin for us. Because he loves us and he wants to do things to make us happy. Like fly around and picking up resin. Dispenser, dropper, I don't need that right now. Observer. So I'm just trying to figure out the best way to like power this whole thing. So the observer is looking down at that redstone. And now I just have to make a way of sending the signal up and down so that it's constantly going back and forth. Make a little timer circuit. This is the nerdy Minecraft stuff. So the way this works is that these lamps are a signal inverter. Whatever signal they get, they'll get the opposite. It's kind of like if true gives you false. If false, it gives you true. So to give an example, right now this line is off. So this is false, this is true. I change this to true, this becomes false. So that's how the inverter works. So the way this works is that this has a delay, and it'll be like, oh, it's true? Okay, let me send that true signal back until eventually the true signal gets back to the lamp, and it's going to be like, oh, I'm getting a true signal, so I should turn false, which then causes it to turn false. And when the false gets here, it's like, oh, false, let me go true again. And because of that, it'll just keep oscillating between true and false and on and off. So that's how that works. And because of that, and because the torch will power the block that's right above it, you can use it to send signals vertically. Now, That there's a problem. Because it's, not... These guys are not retracting. So let's change things up a bit. Use observers. Now the way observers work is that they detect change. So if something changes, they will pulse a momentary signal. So when I remove this block, you'll see that piston shoot down. Just like that. Yeah, that beat hits hard. So the other thing we can do oh, all right. So that's how that would work. And cover this up again. Okay. So we get the wood shifting up and down, up and down. Let's change the time back to nighttime. Where is he? Creaking. Ah, there he is. And by me hitting him, it produces resin, and that resin falls to the ground when it's shaken off. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. What a weirdo. That's it. That's kind of the concept for it. Now what I have to test is that going to work in that one tiny space? Because we only got this space, so if I put the creaking heart here, is he gonna spawn down there where the bees are? Is he gonna try to spawn out here? In which case, I'm gonna have to spawn-proof the place. We can do a little experiment since it's nighttime. Here we go. We have a creaking heart. So I'm gonna try to... Oh, no. That's not working. Kind of build it up here. Alright, so he showed up here, which is good. That's kind of what we want. So this is our tree demon. As long as we're looking at him, he is not going to attack us. But if I turn around, he tries to kill us. Alright, so far this is good. This means that we can probably get away with building the farm here, even though it's a limited space. Alright, and that's how you get rid of him. So first things first, gonna build a floor on top of this. Oh. There is a small bit of a problem, and that is... Oh, let me think about that. Because we're so close to that other sound source that that might cause problem if we try to use an allay here. So I might have to either build the farm somewhere else or not use an allay to pick up the resin. But, you know, it's a positive sign. That's a good start. Okay, so I'm going to put these back here for now. I think I like those. Yeah, I like those. Now, I have some ideas for how that should be. Maybe I should use stairs there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at a minimum, just in case. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. What I'm thinking... Yeah. I don't know if that helps. That might work. Alright. Yeah. I dig it. So we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board for that creaking farm. Now that that little small distraction is out of the way. So I was thinking of using that allay, but might have to do something else. Oh, we do have slimes. And this is relevant because we don't necessarily need all of these pistons. Okay, let's set it back to noon again. And let's grab ourselves a sticky piston. Just kill this for now. Alright. Instead of doing all of that, what if we just have the one sticky piston in each corner? And forget about that. I shouldn't have gotten rid of my lever. Lever's what I use for testing. Okay. Now, forget about that. Yeah. So with just 2 pistons and some slime, we can move all of them up and down instead of needing a whole bunch of pistons, and we no longer need to have crap underground. I like it. So if we no longer... Let's see if this actually works. Okay, yeah, look at that. So what we do is that we put a few of those modules there and have it move the wood up and down to shake off the resin. And then we just have kind of like a funnel thing happening. And we don't need that underground part. Spider, you're not welcome here. Go. So our goal, in fact, what we can do is that we can put the timing system up on top and just try to fit as many of these as we can into the 16 by 16 one chunk space. So now, because we no longer need anything in the bottom, we can just have water flows like our cactus farm, moving everything. Alright, so let's do that again. Alright, so if we do a night, alright. Let's clear that storm. And what do we not need? We don't need that trapdoor. So if I pick up, just from that short amount of time, 9 resin, which is not too bad. So yeah, I just... What the f... Okay. So yeah, we just get a bunch of these things going up and down. The other question becomes, can a creaking spawn on water, or do we need it to spawn elsewhere? That's the other big question. Because if it doesn't spawn on water, then we're going to need to make like little spawning platforms for it and then intentionally push it off. Which is kind of funny. So, show you what I mean. Alright. Creaking. This creaking is for demonstration purposes only. So if we have a creaking there, and then we have a system where it's like, okay, they can spawn on these blocks, and then that pushes them down, that's how we can solve that. Question, what if it's a 4x4 space? Actually, we just want like that. Is that enough to bump? Yep, that's enough to bump them. So what we can do is that we can have those little platforms for the creaking to spawn on the sides. So now, just in case, I have to test whether or not they can actually spawn on water, but that'll knock them down. We'll have them all funneled into one spot. So you can actually, what you can do is that you can have the water. So like this, if I put water like this, it's gonna force them to like the center right there. Okay, out of the way. So now, let's get a volunteer. And now, thanks to the water, it's pushing him to that one spot. So if we have multiple creakings, they're all going to end up in this one spot where we can just hit all of them and get our resin. Alright. I think we have the concept for a farm. This is kind of how my design process is. I do have to look up some other information just to make sure that I'm not doing stuff that's incorrect. So, well, we're gonna build a creaking farm. It's gonna be awesome, but not for them. Oh, I wonder. Guys. Another completely different thing that I was thinking about is the fact that one of the reasons I wanted to get lots of these logs was because they kind of look a bit like stone because they're kind of gray. So we can have like just sprinkle them here and there to add texture to the build and make it look like different colored bricks. Yeah, kind of looks like stone. Anyway, that's the story we're sticking with. Looks like stone. Alright, let's go turn off the moss farm, because it has issues if I try to run it from far away. Okay, it's off. My face, I flew right into that. Right. I do have a lot of pale oak. Just in case, so we don't We don't have to sacrifice these ornamental trees just to make new blocks. Yeah, looks like fun. I dig it. It'll all become much more cohesive later. Alright, what do we need to start making that farm? Probably stone. Stone would help. Fortunately, we do have stone. We have lots of stone. Do we have water? Yes. We have enough water and we even have a fish. If I put a name on this bucket, is that enough? Will our fish boy have a name? Will not let me place it now that it's got a name? There it is. Yeah, he's got a name. That's our boy Sal. Okay, perfect. Hmm. Now, if I recall correctly, the distance water will flow is 8. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. However, where do we want to put the water? Okay, that's on the third one. So we want it to be on the second one. We're kind of working our way backwards. So if we want everything to end up there, we need to put the water 2 blocks back. Okay. It's all part of the scientific process. Okay. Now the question is, do I want to be standing inside, or do I want to be standing just outside? Okay, we don't want to stand there because this is where the slime goes up. However, there's no reason why we have to build it this way. Like here, we can have everything either flow this way or that way, and that way it doesn't interfere with... So we don't want to build here because that'll interfere with the slime that goes up that way to the slime storage. We can build here, and that'll be above the bee processing, the honey processing, so that should be okay. And we can build here, and that would probably also be okay. Because there's nothing here except for that pond. So I'm thinking of doing it here simply because we can then, you know, hide stuff inside of the mountain. And obviously we can't build here because this is where we have our up and down elevator. And the way this works is we have the redstone torch that's constantly powering this on. When you press the button, it turns off the torch, the piston retracts, opening up, and you fall down. Alright. Anyway, let me reorient myself. Okay. So yeah, I'm thinking we put our little sword swingy area here. So we got some hoppers to right there. Alright, so we can get started. Do we have hoppers? We've got 3. That's a start. Probably gonna need more. Okay. Just remembered I have a whole lot of stone, a lot more than I need. Right. Oh. Let's use the stone. So we'll put the hoppers there, we'll preserve a spot for them. Now we probably won't need these, but I'll leave them there. Because we're essentially going to end up creating an empty space here underneath this floor. And also this floor, it's meant to be, oops. It's meant to be the ceiling. Alright. Is what I mean. So it's just decoration for the inside of here. It's not meant to be the roof for the rest of the place. So we want this portion here to be 8 wide. Sorry, 7 wide. 7 wide. So this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's so that when the water comes down, it should stop. No. We'll do some experiments to make sure that that actually works the way we want it to. Alright. So let's see. Let's do the little experiment here. So if we have a water source here, it'll obviously go there, okay? So we probably want to go one further. Do we have... What can we use? I do recall buying a whole lot of glass last time when we made the beacon. Yep, we've got glass. Pickaxe too strong. Alright, that'll work. So, if we did this correctly, the water will flow all the way down, but stop here and not go down there. Ah, perfect. That is precisely what we wanted. There we go. Look at that. And then we can put one water here, one water here, and everything ends up here. Exactly what we wanted. Now, because it is going to be a pain in the butt to work here with a bunch of flowing water, we'll just use the scaffolding to turn it off for now. Alright, this is good. This is going to be a very good farm, probably. I hope so. Okay, it's not a thunderstorm. Alright, I don't want to use any of that wood for the chests and hoppers. We're just gonna cut down the spruce tree. Also, we need more scaffolds. We're just gonna harvest our bamboo. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Actually, let's see. We need a multiple of 6. So... let's see. If this was... so if that's 66, then this doesn't work, so I need to put down 4. There we go. Just use our trident. To fly up and get some string. It's raining, so really there's no need to use up rockets. Speaking of which, probably do with a few more. Grab some string. There we go, more scaffolds. I think I left my bed back up there. Let's go grab it. So the reason I'm using spruce wood instead of, all the other wood that I have is because I'm not really going to use spruce right now for anything in particular, so right now spruce is my junk wood that I'm using to make stuff like chests. Okay, we got enough to replant. Okay, 52. That's a good amount. Now, I don't know if I want to turn all of that into... into hoppers, but at the very least we can make 9. The reason I went with 9 specifically is because with iron blocks, every 5 iron blocks is 9 hoppers. Perfect. Fellas, I hope the lava doesn't get you. Damn. Hoping to go underneath that. Don't need that right now. I should make a back door for this wall. So we know that the amount of space that each one of those farm modules takes up is 3 by 3, but because it has the slime blocks and we also need the air gaps, we need an air gap between the different modules. So let's do a little bit of mathing. Okay. So I'm just thinking. All right. So that's where one module would be, making sure that there's an air gap. We're gonna have another one here. There's an air gap, okay. Now the question... We don't want one there, necessarily. However, what about here? Does this work? So what I'm concerned about is that if there's a slime in this corner, then that might hit a slime here, but not necessarily if we use honey. Yeah, if we use honey, then that wouldn't be a problem. Also, if we just put... So if we have a slime in this corner, and this one has the slime in this corner and that corner, then it won't matter. The slimes won't touch each other. But what about this space here? Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to think out how I want to do the layout using scaffolding blocks first, because scaffolding blocks are easy to move. Okay, so let's say we do something like this. The question is, can the piston move all of those? Or is this too close? Let's go to the testing world and find out. I think if it's 4 logs, then that might be too many. Let's just disable this real quick. I think this is too many, but I just wanted to test it. Yeah, that's too many. But if we remove the bottom layer, now it's 12. Can it move 12? No. No, because it isn't 12. It's 15. So we can't do that. This is 12 because it's 4 plus 4 plus 4. Alright. This is why we do the experiment. So we can't do this. This is too close. However, we can do this. Because now this slime isn't touching any of these. And if I want to put a honey here, then the honey and the slime won't affect each other and will be golden. So we just want to make sure that there is enough space. And yeah, so as long as there's a gap of 2 between there, we should be okay. Now, do we want... Now, we could technically do this. However, we would have to make sure that the sides of the walls here are slime proof. And we can do that with pumpkins. So 1, 2... And we can just repeat this pattern. Man, yeah, that could work. That could work. And we do have the honey to make it work. Now that being said, the other thing we need to worry about is where are the creaking gonna spawn? And I guess we can kind of make a spawn platform for them up here that gets pushed by slime blocks. Okay, I think I left my bed way back over there. I should have lit that floor up, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And it's a decision that won't come back to haunt me. Yeah, this is it's gonna be pretty good. Pretty ridiculous, but pretty good. Probably gonna have to make some tunnel back here. Because this area is not meant for human traffic. Okay, yeah. This is where we are going to put our creaking heart modules. Alright, things that we are going to need. We're gonna need honey and slime. And more scaffolding. I'm running kind of low on that stuff. Also, for now, get some lighting here. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, honey farm is doing good. One stack should be more than enough for now. Just in case it comes to that. We'll take the elevator out. A little bit of slime. Perfect. This will be great. Just gonna ignore the sound that is most certainly not armadillos being hurt. Okay. Right, I came here for pumpkins. Could use melons, but I have more pumpkins. Hmm. Oh, yeah, we're actually gonna need resin to start the farm. Ironically enough. Maybe not ironically enough. It actually makes perfect sense. Okay. Start here on the side. So if we... One, two, three, four, five. No? Five. So that's where we'll have... So the slime is gonna slide up and down that. And because of the pumpkins, we'll be able to slide without getting stuck on the walls. I probably grabbed more pumpkins than I needed. That's fine. Oh, I'm gonna need a lot of pale oak. So, I'm gonna grab the pale oak box. We're gonna need a lot of resin as well. Like I said, we need resin to get resin. So we got that. And throw the stone in here for now, while we're not using it. Okay. So, I make blocks of resin. Just toss this there, and then So we'll have four creaking hearts to start with. And then use those to get the rest of them. And once again, go down here and forgot to grab my pale oak box. Perfect. This is where we'll be. Safe from all the madness. Oh, look at you. Kinda stuck there, aren't you? Alright, stay right there. Oh, you can't even follow me. So I'll keep the resin here where I can see it. That way, I know when I have 9. Alright, thank you. Damn it. Yeah, I don't have to actually use the axe. You just punch it to knock it down. Probably better that way. Hello, I'm back. You know, this is all fun and good, but we can probably speed up production if we get another one. No. Oh, look at him. Pardon me, gentlemen. Just scooching on by. Hey. Sir? Okay. Maybe having two of them gonna be a pain in the butt. Because I don't have the water flowing yet, so I can't force him to stay still. Hey, buddy. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot better when I actually have the machinery. So I don't have to leave here. I mean, leave the safe spot. Okay, these guys are just gonna be jerks. If you're gonna be jerks, I'm gonna leave. Even if my whole farm's philosophy is hitting them. Still. Right. See how we're doing, how many we're missing. Okay. We can make two more. Two more hearts. Okay, so we have 7 hearts. Let's figure out how many we need. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We need 11 more. Alright, we need 4 more than what we have. We need... Well, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. We can work with this. We can get the first round going. Let's throw some random crap in there. pistons. I need a lot of pistons. Let's actually do the math. So 4 plus 9 is 13. 13 times 2 is 26, so we need 26 pistons. Okay. 26 sticky pistons, to be more precise. So we're gonna need that. We're gonna need that. Gonna need wood. Leave the creaking hearts here. Okay, where... Okay, this is just birch. Let's turn an entire stack into cobble. Okay. One, two, three, four, five, 16 gives us a stack of wood. How many pistons does that give us? Okay, not bad. We're gonna need more stone. So I miscalculated slightly. I'm gonna need one more block of redstone and one more block of iron. Oh, okay, that's way more than I thought. Oh, right. Hmm. I think that's gonna leave us with 3 wood left over. Yeah. Of course, I have, yep, a single piece of iron. And 4 cobble. I just have straight up cobble anywhere. There we go. Boom. I am gonna need, actually, I am gonna need more pistons, thinking about it, because we're gonna need pistons to push them when we make this the platforms for that. So 12 goes to 16. Gosh darn it, forgot to cobble them up. Right. 1, 2, 3. And I just need 4 of those. There we go. That should hold us over for a bit. And we'll take that. You know what? If I sleep down here, there's a chance the creaking will spawn right next to me. It's better to just sleep up here and then go back down there to finish up with what we're missing. Okay. Now we want to turn a bunch of those into stickies. So this is where this piston is going to be. Yeah. Due to the spacing, I might not even need to alternate slime and honey. Here we have one module. Now we can get all the resin we need. Simply by using the farm as it was intended. Alright. What are we gonna need? We're gonna need sticks. Right, I have a lot of sticks. We're gonna need repeaters. We're gonna need that guy. Maybe more of these guys. This is just temporary. I do plan on... I'm gonna put the timer in a better location. Why does it do that? Why are they stuck that way? Well, we've got all the creaking hearts we need. I'm gonna keep on working on this offline, off stream, to figure out why it is that some pistons sometimes get stuck extended. And hopefully get that fixed up. As you can see, this is the start of a resin farm, and once I get that whole piston thing sorted, it should work out pretty well. Thanks for stopping by, and catch you on the next one.